On this episode of Pimp My Setup, we're going to be talking about your setups you submitted for tips, tricks, feedback, and much more. So if you're interested in that, then sit back, relax, and interact because the show starts now.
It's time for the original setup show dedicated to providing you with tips, tricks, and feedback to pimp out your setup. Hosted by Matt Philly with new special guests every week. Coming at you live in 3, 2, 1.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to Pimp My Setup, episode number 47, recorded live on July 18th, is it 18th?
Yes.
Yeah, wow, it's 18th already. 2015. My name's Matt Philly. You can find me on Twitter at Matt Philly.
I'm Matt's dad. You can find me wherever Matt is.
That's true. And he does have a Twitter. It's going to be linked down below. Or you can just go to twitter.com/P41L13, which is my dad's elite hackser way of spelling Philly. So, yeah. But you actually do tweet. You favorite a lot of my tweets.
I do.
Yeah. And I follow him, so.
I usually go after my friend who's a Chevy guy, and I'm a Ford guy, so I go after his Chevy with jokes and stuff. But that's really all I do.
Yeah.
I don't really do a lot on there.
Yeah. So, for a lot of people that don't know, yes, this is my dad. And surprisingly, one of the most requested co-hosts ever, next to like Linus and all of them, because they just want to see my creator, basically. So, that is my...
I'm his god.
Yeah, that's who brought me into this world and can easily bring me out of it. But he actually got me really into setups, and if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have the setup I have because my mom would not really let me have it. But my dad's always like, I'll work on it. And then next morning, my mom's like, fine. And I'm like, yes, this is what it's all about. What?
I've been doing setups since 1977.
Yeah.
When I Atari 800.
And you know a lot about cable management because of stuff you've done throughout your life, and a lot of stuff I learned is through him. So yeah. All right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go over setups and stuff like that, of course. So let's go ahead and take a look at the first one. This first setup submitted by Ben, and a little game that I play all the time, as you probably know, Dad, is I make you guess the age. So taking a look at this setup, how old do you think Ben is?
I'm gonna say 21.
21. Nope, he is 30 years old.
Oh, okay. Well, I looked at the Nintendo 64.
Yeah.
I looked at, let's see what else. He's got some Titanfall. I don't really know what that game is.
It's irrelevant. That's what it is.
Okay, that's he's got a couple of like old school Nintendo controllers on the bottom shelf over there. So
yeah. He's got a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah,
And
Ninja Turtles. So I kind of figured he was in that age group.
Yeah,
okay.
And he's got a lot of cool Halo stuff.
Yeah,
which is pretty awesome. But yeah, it's funny. I just want to say quickly, someone said in the chat, like, oh, typical, your dad bought everything in your setup, because that's like an ongoing joke.
No, that's not true.
Yeah.
Matthew earns a lot of his own money. He pays for all his own stuff.
So
sometimes I'll lay money out for him, but he
well,
doesn't.
all right, Dad. All right. No, come on. No, but yeah, I think it's funny because everyone says
that.
it.
Don't want mom to know.
Oh, yeah. We don't want my mom to know. But yeah, so taking a look at this, it's funny because I feel like I've seen these kind of tabletops a lot. They're like the fold-out plastic ones. And honestly, at first glance, I didn't even think that's what it was because he utilized it pretty damn good. I mean, would you agree that...
I like it.
Yeah, it works. And also, I like that his floor is actually vacuumed. That's a big deal.
I like that. It's neat. It's very neat.
Yeah, so as far as like cable management and whatnot, what are your thoughts?
I like how he used the tie wraps on the legs underneath the in the back left leg there. He's got some of the cables tie wrapped there. He also has some tie wrap to the other table on the left side. Mm-hmm. Well, you can see the tie wraps sticking down. Like I told you, I have a trick that I don't use tie wraps. I like to use black vinyl tape.
Yeah.
But let's see. I like it's very neat. I think it's very, very neat.
Yeah.
I don't think I gave anybody 10s though for cable maintenance.
Because that's just how you are. That's just...
Yeah, because if I don't see your wire management, you could just have it all like rolled into a ball, put behind something, and that's not wire management. Yeah. Wire management can be seen. It's got to be good looking. That's what it is. You know?
Exactly.
And this is good looking. I like how it looks.
Yeah. Now, for me, like I love the LEDs. I love just the room comes together very nicely. One thing that does kind of irritate me, and I actually saw someone say it in the chat as well, is the Titanfall poster is just, it's off. It doesn't line up with the monitors or the headphones. And if you like that game, then just center it and it would look that much better. And even if you could get a custom frame that fits that, it would look really nice. What?
It could be centered on the wall, though. We don't know because...
Well, no, look based off of the headphones. So regardless, it's either his poster isn't lined up or his headphones aren't.
All right. I mean, that's, you know...
I'm nitpicking here. It's a great setup. That's what it is.
It is a nice setup. I like it. Trying to think what else I had. Oh, the next picture of it, though. Is his setup on the surface of the sun? Because I was like, I had like sunburn after like looking at the picture.
Yeah, it's like he goes in there for tanning, like it's his tanning bed or something.
Yeah, it's a little too much for me, and I was like,
it might be the way the photo was taken, but regardless, it's he's got LEDs, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And also I like that he's watching episode 26 of Pimp My Setup with Fractal Josh, which is pretty awesome. Left side, honestly, I don't even think that it's that crowded.
No, I don't either.
I think it was done perfectly, and I like how I believe it's an iPad from what I could see, is lined up. Actually, I don't know, I can't really see. It's lined up perfectly with the TV, so it doesn't cover, which is perfect. And he's got a lot of cool throwbacks, like you were saying, which is definitely awesome. So overall, it's an awesome setup. And you have anything else you want to say about it, Dad?
The one thing I'm not crazy about, and I'll be honest with you, is how he catty-cornered a lot of his gaming systems on that shelf.
Okay.
I would have brought the table in more, like how we did it in your room, and had like a direct L, and then put that maybe on an end piece, or come up with a different way to put the equipment. Because I find that to be a little difficult to get to stuff if you have to get to anything.
Yeah,
for the utilization part of it that you have on your scorecard. I mean, that's where I gigged him a little bit for that. But otherwise, I think it's a great setup.
Yeah, no, that's true. All right, so now we're going to go to the next setup. Next setup is submitted by PocketBoyHT. Yeah, okay, so how old do you think Pocket Boy is?
Oh, I got to switch to the picture.
I'm like, all right, Dad, any second now.
All right, I'm going to say he's 16.
16. He is 25 years old.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
sorry.
so what...
I'm sorry.
With this is really interesting, honestly, because... let's see, I'm like trying to read through. I'm pretty sure... Oh, yeah, the desk is custom built by a furniture company.
I like that.
Yeah. He calculated the height, size, depth for his comfort, long gaming sessions, and working. He's a petroleum engineer, which sounds fancy. I don't really know what that does. Do you know anything about petroleum engineers?
A little bit, but he's definitely not he's not an electrical engineer with all the wires all over the place.
Yeah. So this is definitely interesting though, because that desk is...
I like the desk a lot.
Very awesome. Yeah, I really, really like it. But the room as a whole is insanely, like, messy. Just very messy.
You know, you could go with black vinyl tape and a T59 arrow stapler, and along the door frame there, you could staple those. You go right over the cable with the T59. It's designed for RG59, RG6 coax. They have special staples that have like a plastic coating over it, and you could gun that right in there. You can get white staples, you can get black staples, gun that right in there, tuck it all up against the wall nicely. You know, you could get vinyl tape in different colors. I used to use them all the time. I had all different colors. Back in the day, they didn't have all this fancy stuff. I just would go into my dad's garage and take his vinyl tape and vinyl tape the hell out of everything.
Yeah.
But one wraparound is good, you know, and you could really tuck everything up. This could be an awesome setup if you just did about 15 minutes worth of work with the wire management.
Yeah, very true. I still think, regardless, though, the desktop itself is kind of cluttered. Tons of little knickknacks, which knickknacks are cool, but when it's like this, it's like, it's overkill. I mean, you have books, you know, your controllers are just laying there. Like, you could display your controllers, but don't just have them lay there under your monitor.
I agree.
And overall, I mean, like I said, the desk is awesome. Don't get me wrong. You have a nice chair. You have some personality there with the posters. I would like to see maybe another poster above that middle one, or maybe another vertical one to kind of keep the whole thing going. The only thing is, what do you think about the monitors possibly being on a stand? I understand that the desk was kind of made for that, but what do you think?
You know, it's a hard choice for me, because, you know, it looks like it was made for it, and it doesn't seem like too much as a problem. I mean, you could do like what we did with the triple monitor mount, but you saw what that does. The bigger the monitors, the more room it takes up on the desk, and you're actually losing more real estate. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's bad. Like, you know what? Maybe you take a plastic plastic bin, and you take your arm and you swipe it right across the desk and throw everything that's loose into a plastic bin and store it. I mean, it's too much stuff on the desk. And is that a can of Ready whipped cream behind the one monitor, or is that air pressure?
I hope it's not whipped cream, but
I mean, I don't know. It looks like looks like whipped cream to me. But he could just clean it up, and I don't think the monitors would be an issue on their individual mounts. I really don't think that's a problem. I know you like to have everything wall mounted or triple monitor mounts and stuff. I understand that. I think that's great, but sometimes it's simple is better, you know. And
I mean,
I like that.
It does work for his desktop because it's up and whatnot, but the right side of the setup is very messy, and we can't see behind the left because of the chair. And I also don't know if I 100% agree with the laptop placement.
I like it. I think
like
it's
it there?
Yeah, I do like it there, because as he's gaming or doing a show like this or whatever, he could easily just turn right to the laptop. I like that. I don't have a problem with that. That's how it is at my office in my where I work.
Okay.
I have triple monitors, and then I have my laptop off to this side. So I'm always like this, and then I have my monitors, and then I have other stuff over here. But yeah, so I don't mind that. I think that's pretty good.
All right, let's go to the next setup. The next setup is submitted by Gabe from Minnesota. How old do you think Gabe is?
I'm gonna probably get this wrong, and I apologize if I do. He's 17.
14.
Oh, wow.
So that's okay. That's a good mistake to make. So with this setup by Gabe, for his age, it's great.
Awesome.
Yeah,
it's awesome. Yeah,
he's got everything he needs. Like Scarlett, he's got very nice speakers, nice headset, great peripherals overall, very nice monitor stand, two amazing matching monitors, little pop figures, really nice posters above. He's got his PC elevated. Really, I mean, it's a great setup. But what do you think?
Well, I think it's a great setup. I think it doesn't seem like a lot of when you talk about a theme, it's like
very plain.
It's very plain. Like, I couldn't tell you, like, by telling you he's 18, I was just guessing. You don't really have a sense of what he's all about. You know, I see he likes Superman and Batman. I guess he likes Monsters Inc. and you know, I like that he emptied the garbage can. That's great.
Yep.
And I do like the file cabinet and stuff. I mean, I like it, but this could also be seen as maybe, you know, your parents' type of setup. Like, you know, you use their, so you want to like put a little bit of your own touch on there, and I think that's all he's missing. Otherwise, I think it's an awesome setup. And was that a red Scarlet, Matthew?
Yep. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I see like a couple wires that irritate me, but it's nothing.
No,
for a 14-year-old, it's not like the other people's setups that can be.
Oh,
insane.
he's so ahead of the curve.
Yeah,
he's good. It's good.
Yeah. So like, I agree. I'm sure since he's 14, much like you wouldn't let me do crazy things to my room, I bet he can't paint the wall, and he can't, you know, get rid of that curtain and make it, you know, something a little crazier. But if you could, that would look amazing. Painting that file cabinet black would look amazing. And also,
LEDs would be nice.
Yeah, LEDs would be nice. And maybe like an extended mouse mat to just kind of give it a little bit of, you know.
He doesn't have one. He doesn't even have a mouse mat.
Well, yeah, that's, which I don't know if it works on his Surface or not. I prefer one just to have. So that's something I would recommend. But really, it's a pretty straightforward setup. Do you have anything else you want to say about it?
Well, you know, you gotta hand it to this young man, because he's 14 years old, and you know, I don't know if he paid for this stuff himself or whatever, but you know, you gotta do everything in small moves, and not always the big grandiose things are the best. You know, sometimes you always take a step back of the stuff that you put together yourself, that you paid for yourself, and you really admire it. And I don't care, like when I used to have my setups back in the 1970s and 80s. I mean, we didn't take pictures of that stuff, but I loved my setup. I had a 12-inch black and white TV as my first monitor. I mean, that's how far back we're talking.
Yeah.
And I loved my setup. I mean, I thought it was awesome. But this is very nice, and he's got a lot he can build onto it, but it's really nice. I like it.
Yeah. All right, so now let's go to the next setup. Next setup is submitted by Albin, which is a very interesting name, from Sweden. How old do you think Albin is?
Let me change the picture.
Oh my God, Dad.
Is this Albin? That's Pocket Boy. Hold on. Albin. All right. Albin, this is a cool setup. I'm gonna say he's 17.
He's 16, so pretty damn close. Now with this, my first thing, this screams IKEA with all the different, furniture and whatnot. But the biggest complaint I have is his shrine of like energy drinks and things like that, like Monster, Rockstar, Red Bull, all that. Like, and then at the end, I like how he has Windows, and he also has a Samsung Evo SSD. But is that a thing? Is that like collecting Monster cans and energy drinks?
I'm sure people collect beer bottles. People collect all different types of cans and bottles. Mm-hmm. So I'm sure of that because companies do change the look of the can, the look of the bottle over time. Maybe these are cans that are not even open yet. So I mean, they could be like collector's items to him. The one thing that I think it's a beautiful setup, but the computer on the left-hand side on the ground, I wouldn't put it on that side. I'd put it on the right-hand side near the wall.
Okay, yeah, true.
And I would take the subwoofer out from the middle where your feet would be kicking it constantly. And I would try, because subwoofers, they're meant to not be seen. You have to kind of hide them. Like when I had in Grandpa's house, I wired subwoofers into the wall.
Yeah.
So you don't see them because the sound is just supposed to resonate and give you a lot of bass. And you're supposed to have the high sounds, like where he's got the monitor, the other two speakers are fine, they're great. But you don't need to have that subwoofer there. You should put it on one of the end caps or try to wire it out and hide it a little better. Otherwise, I mean, this is this is really clean. Yeah. And I gave him a little bit of a gig on his wire management only because I can't see his wire management. I can't see the front of the desk. I can't see, I like to see, how'd you do it? Did you tie wrap it?
Yeah.
Did you Velcro strap it? What'd you do to it? And that, that to me, then I can give you a 10 if you did a really great job because if I see your wires, it doesn't mean that it's bad if it's neatly done,
Yeah, like take a picture of under the desk. Like, for instance, since there's so much IKEA here, I would make the assumption he has the Signum, which is great, and that's why it looks so good.
Are we sure this is not one of the showrooms in IKEA?
Yeah, it really looks like it. It's literally everything just looks IKEA. I love the white. I love the LEDs. Now this is perfect. It really depends, like with out of sight, out of mind, if what's right, what's wrong. This here is like perfect. Now you can have more stuff on your desk. That's fine. He could have had things on the left and the right, and it would have been a good balance. But for him, look how much room he has on both sides. Like, this is a nice setup. It's a lot of room.
It really is. But again, this theme, the setup screams personality. It doesn't have really too much personality. I mean, I don't know what he's into. Is he into games? Is he into
Monster drinks and things like that? Yeah.
So I mean, I love the poster, which I think is that the moon up on the right hand, the surface of the moon. I'm not even
possibly.
sure.
Yeah, I can't really see either.
It looks really cool. I mean, I like the room. I like everything about it. It's just I would go with. I would definitely move the PC to the other side so it's out of the way. It's actually kind of a little far away if you have to reach over and put a USB port in or something like that.
At least it'll be hidden behind, like, not that you. I mean, I don't know what it looks like. It doesn't seem too flashy. But yeah, that would at least free up more room on the left. And yeah, personality, I would like to see a little bit more, but I do like the energy drink, although I think it's a weird obsession. Each person has their own thing. So it's cool. It's definitely nice. And that is one thing I would agree with. This can look like anybody's setup. But yeah, it's pretty dope. So let's go to the next setup. This is going to probably, all right. How old do you think Cameron's setup is? Get it? Cameron, it's funny.
Yeah,
I have a brother named Cameron. Okay, how old do you think he is?
Well, first of all, I dig the Apple speakers. That's I think those are JBLs, but those were for the Power Mac G4s or G5s back in the day.
No, I think that's They're different. They look like really? It, but it's different. Yeah, I know. Before the chat room explodes and
yeah, it straightens me out. No, because I almost bought speakers like this for my G4 back when I got my G4. They looked exactly like these. They were in the Apple store too. How old is he? He is 24.
That's all right. So that's kind of what I was expecting, like maybe an older age. He's 13.
Wow. Okay. All right.
So now this setup, without a doubt, has to be like, and either I hate this or I love it, mainly because of the paint. because a lot of people are gonna hate it on the red and be like, "Oh, that looks terrible." Oh yeah, they're Harman Kardon sound sticks. Those what those speakers are.
Yeah, and they were big for the Apple back in the day because I almost bought them.
Okay. Anyways, yeah, this is very interesting. I'm pretty sure this is his second time on the show.
Okay.
I don't think much has changed other than like the wall has become red, honestly. So my initial thought is, whoa, because you got bright red walls with white shelves actually white outers with black shelves with a black desk, and it's just it's like clashing for me. The lamps are so different and weird, which I give you points for being different, but at the same time, like this is just way too much for me to take in. What are your initial thoughts?
My initial thoughts are the lamps don't go at all. You've got a lot of chrome going on here with the speakers, and you got a lot of white and black. Now you're introducing like gold, I think that is. or brass. It's
like he's just trying to be different, but it's like you try too hard.
But I'm not trying. I mean, I would go with, it would be nice if you had black lamps or white lamps or something like that. But I'm not hating the setup. His wire management could use a little help. Too much stuff under the desk. To me, under your desk is prime real estate. You can't go putting large things under your desk to take up where your real estate, where your feet go.
Well, the problem is that's a Blue Lounge cable management box. So it's like one of those boxes you put all your cables in, which I think cool. You could do that, but I'm not really a fan of those, especially with things like Signums.
They take a lot of room. That's taking a lot of room.
They look ugly because you still see all the cables coming out of it. I don't really think it does much.
I don't like that. The other thing too is he could put that subwoofer on one of these shelves on the bottom here, like where the one drum is, or
maybe where his trash can is, because
exactly.
You don't display your trash can. At least that's where I'm from. I don't get a shelf and put my trash can on it, but I guess if that's what you're into, you can do that. Really, I think my main concern is he has awesome shelves that he could do a lot with, but what he has on it, I don't think really works. A lot of it's empty, or it's just very miscellaneous items, which I think would look better hidden in a drawer or something like that, because for the most part it's just very random. And also I put stuff on top of it. You have a lot of room there. I put stuff on top and put a big ass poster, canvas painting, or shelves or something above the monitor. It's a lot of real estate that's not used.
A couple of things too with the one shelf where the books are. First of all, I would be displaying that King Kong on the Empire State Building big time, because that's like pretty cool. The other thing is you got some books that turn the wrong way. Get all the bindings showing the right way so you can see the names of all the books, and like kind of like tighten that up. You might be able to slide that die in there to kind of hold it steady, and you kind of have like a cool look there then. But I do like the bookend that he's using there, the Empire State Building with King Kong on it. I think that's pretty cool.
You know what I would do, like to wrap this setup up, because we could talk about it all day probably, is if this was my setup, I wouldn't even have those shelves on the side, to be completely honest. I would get a bigger desk and I would make it epic. He has so much space on that wall. I would have like the sickest setup ever.
Okay, he's 14 though, right? You said, or 16? How old was he?
He was 13.
13. All right.
Yeah, I mean,
he's got to get some,
tell mom and dad,
I know. You know what? Don't tell mom and dad. Go out and get a job.
Yeah, at 13.
Papers.
Yeah.
Hey, when I was 13,
papers. It's 2015, bro.
I used to clean pubs on Sunday morning.
Yeah, but that was back when okay. We'll talk about that one day. Anyways, let's go to the next item. Next item is submitted by Jason, and guess how old Jason is? No, wait, you can't, because he didn't give us his damn age.
I'm gonna say 22.
Yeah, well, he did mention
because that's how I would use my school books, by holding up a monitor.
Yeah, this is interesting to say the least. I mean, look at some of the stuff. Is that a DVD drive just chilling on his desk on the far left?
Yeah, like he'll throw that in whenever he feels like.
Yeah, he's got his DS. Oh,
he's that badass. He's that badass. I'll just leave that right there.
This is definitely like a college student, because he's got his DS, which he probably plays in the middle of class. All the books. Oh look! Oh guys, look at the meme. Put that in the chat if you're watching. Oh wait, we're not on Twitch because Twitch wasn't working, but that's actually hilarious. The case, I feel so bad for the case. It's such a good case, and he's got all these Razor Evil Genius stickers all over it, and there's so many things on top of it, and just it's like he's using it like it's all right, a fridge.
This setup screams dual monitor stand, screams it. if the monitors matched and were the same size, but you could still.
Well, I like the placement. I just don't think that he's putting it on the right stuff and the things that he has. Like the desk is way too much. And look at all the outlets. Does that scare you at all? Having all the outlets like right there out.
No, because if it was wire managed correctly, that would look pretty cool. You can make that look pretty cool.
Okay.
The one thing that I'm concerned about, and I'm no newbie to computers. Why would you have two mouses with one computer?
Because it's the trend. No, I don't know actually. I'm trying to
and they're both lit up. So
I mean, maybe one he prefers for gaming, like the Logitech G, whatever it is, versus the Razer one. He might prefer for actually playing games. I don't know, but regardless, that's annoying.
Maybe he's got maybe that's for the laptop. Maybe one's a laptop monitor and the other one's for the PC. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's that's confusing and it hurts my head right now. So.
Really, what this comes down to, and whenever I say this, people get so salty in the comments. But I would literally just take my hand on one side of the desk and push everything off and start fresh, because this is. I feel bad for. That's a nice case, the NZXT H440, but I feel it's not your fridge. You don't put your hundredths on tests on there to show off. Just literally have way too much going on. A Cooler Master box is holding up one of your displays. It does look like a college setup though, but still.
But I'll tell you what, about $100 and about 2 hours, an hour and a half worth of decluttering and putting you can make this thing kick ass.
Yeah, I agree.
Without a doubt.
So let's go to the next setup, because this next setup is actually, I think it's kind of like the same thing, like just with a little bit of work, this setup would look amazing. This would be like one of my favorite setups and something I wish I had. This setup submitted by Blaine. Blaine, guess how old? Oh, this is funny. Guess how old do you think he is?
7.
Yeah. He's 7 years old. No, I'm kidding. He's 17. He's 17. But the reason why I thought it was funny is because he decided instead of buying a car, he bought a PC. Now that screams 2015. This is where we're at in life. But this setup, he's got 2 dope chairs. He has the sick triple monitor setup, the great, mic arm coming over. You can tell he streams and he does YouTube, and he's got like a dope setup, a lot of space, open real estate, and he even has a dope Coca-Cola fridge.
That's awesome. Which I don't think he's using it as a fridge. Though.
It doesn't look like it. Yeah, I don't know why there's other stuff in there. I would have put, the glass bottles of Coke in there. That'd be dope. But this,
lava lamp.
Lava lamp, which is a must in this day and age. A laptop that's not starting up correctly. But the main problem here is it's just done wrong. The cable management is garbage. Underneath your desk, underneath the monitors, I don't even know. You have like 7 drinks, 37 different things. You have like a stuffed animal stuck under there. Just way too much. Declutter this, and this can look amazing, right? What do you think?
It just has a lot of potential. Mm-hmm. This is where black vinyl tape would come in real handy if money was short. You just grab all those wires, layer them nicely, vinyl tape once around each spot.
Or Signum, $10.
Signum, $10. The laptop, you could clear up some space if you get rid of the one laptop that's using wind blows and doesn't work.
Someone's saying that is his PC. It looks like there's books in there, and then there's like yellow tape and stuff. I don't think the Coca-Cola thing is his PC.
No.
Because guys, look closely, like stuff like that. I don't think that's it. I saw like 2 people say it. I feel like if it was the Coke thing, a lot of people would have said it. But from what I see, it looks like it's just storing stuff.
I don't really see where his PC is.
It looks like it's behind the chair on the right side.
Oh, okay.
That's where all his cables are coming from too. Anyways.
Yeah, I mean, again, this could be a decent setup if he just cleaned it up before he submitted the picture too. I mean,
yeah, seriously. But like also, he has 2 chairs, and you can tell he wants to utilize the left side. But the problem is, you got boxes there. You can't even put your feet there.
Yeah, I thought he worked for NASA with all these screens.
Yeah.
I mean, he was like monitoring like the ship that's going to Pluto right now or something. because he's got a lot of screens, a lot of stuff going on. I mean, it's cool. He's got potential here for a kick-ass setup, but just like about 15 minutes worth of wire management would get you going.
Yeah.
I mean,
the worst part about this setup though is you don't really know what he's into, but he has all that wall space to put stuff, to show off shelves, to take all that shit underneath your monitors and put it up there, or posters or anything. I know I always say that, but seriously, this setup needs that, especially since you have all the room, because this can look like any messy 17-year-old setup.
Again, too, with the prime real estate underneath the desk. Look, he lost prime real estate where the other chair is. Yeah. So, I mean, I like the chairs. I think the chairs are really cool. He's got great equipment. Just display
awesome.
It correctly. Display it right.
So much potential. I really like it, but it's just not done properly. All right, so let's go to the next setup. Next setup is submitted by Connor, and guess how old he is? Oh, wait, you can't because he didn't give us his age. But regardless, he's probably a teenager from the looks of it. Actually, let's read what he wrote on the wall. Page 1735. Something politics, nothing fun. Normally we see some funny stuff on there, but nothing fun this time. All right, so taking a look at this setup, Dad, what are your thoughts?
Massive potential again. I like the cart that holds the PC, and it looks like it's got a couple other things underneath it. I like that. It's probably a printer cart, but he's using it to hold his PC, which I guess that's the case, and the monitor. I think just a little bit of wire management would be nice. I had to ask Cameron what that flag was above because I don't play games.
Assassin's Creed?
Yeah, I thought it was something else, and Cameron said you can't say that. So,
oh God.
Yeah. So if I wasn't on warning from my wife and from Matthew, I would have said it, but I'm not going to say it. I think it's cool. I like it. I mean, I think it's got a lot of potential. Wire management. I mean, he's got to clean up underneath the computer. He's got some stuff hanging out there. Let's see. He's got, what's that on the wall there? What does it say? Politics? And
yeah. I just read that.
No, I wasn't listening to you.
Regardless, here, I'll step in now.
Okay.
Yeah, I love that the DX Racer is yellow, but it doesn't make sense because nothing else in your room follows suit. So I'd love to see that be like a theme that goes throughout. Otherwise, it does look kind of out of place, like Bumblebee-ish, and I'm not a big fan, but I would love to see that taken advantage of. I would love a new desk because you have a lot of space. Like an L desk would fit perfectly in the corner there.
I agree.
I think the card is cool, but it looks like back when I was in high school and they would bring around the projector on there, and like it just looks old school. I'm not a big fan, especially because it's so cluttered. So I think what you need is an L desk. Work on your cable management. It will be a lot easier with a different desk for sure. And even if you do want to keep the frosted glass kind of desk look, you can go for that. But really, I think this screams for a new desk, and you'll have a lot more space. And with the space, you'll have a good setup. And yeah, anything else you want to? Oh, okay.
Yeah, what I would just disagree with you about the yellow and black. If you look down to the right, he does have something that's yellow there, so it is matching that. So he should be good with that.
Yeah, he has one little thing.
He's good there. He's covered.
Yeah, 10 out of 10 color theme. It's great.
Listen, we're males. We're not supposed to be able to match colors.
It's simple. It's like, oh, yellow goes with yellow, black goes with black. I'm not saying, have some contrasting colors that look cute together. I'm saying, if you're going to go with black and yellow chair,
like, oh my God, the green keyboard totally
oh my God.
Oh my God.
It looks so good. Yeah, no. All right, you ready for the next setup?
Let's do the next one.
Okay.
I know you're getting tired of me already.
Yeah, I'm trying to end this show as soon as possible.
I feel like we're going downhill. We're going really fast now.
No, we're going at a good speed. It's 35 minutes in. I think we're good. All right, so next setup is submitted by Casey, and Casey did not give his age, but he did say he's trying to copy MKBHD's setup, and you could tell with Daft Punk and all the facets and things like that on the wall. Definitely going for that, but I don't think you should have said that you're trying to copy him. He didn't make the facets. It was Justin Maller, so you're just displaying someone's artwork, and you like Daft Punk, and you put it on your thing. So that's that. But what I definitely think is this is like the kind of furniture that your parents would make you get stuck with until they decide to buy you a new desk. Right, Dad? Right? Yeah,
but I don't see a problem with it.
You like the desk?
It's okay.
The desk works, but I feel as if it's kind of holding him back from having a sick setup to go with all the artwork and the LEDs and everything. It just seems out of place.
Well, my problem is, again, he's like, you can't see where the computer is. Is it on something? Because if it's on the carpet, that's a big no-no.
Yeah.
Number two, good job, but he's got no sound, so I guess he wears headsets. He's got no speakers or anything.
Well, yeah, he's got the headphones. He probably doesn't have headphones yet. Speakers yet. Words.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And also, you know what I think is hilarious? He tried to just print out the artwork, but the printer he used, the paper he used rather, was so like thin and whatnot that it was so inky that it's a little wrinkly.
Yeah.
You know,
he didn't use photo paper. He used like stock 20-pound paper.
Yeah, which that's gonna be part of an issue for him, because does that stick out to you? Does that look like?
No, I mean this screams to me. Did we say how old he was? Or we don't know.
He didn't give us an age.
All right, he's probably under 16. I'm going to assume, and I apologize if you're 24, but but it screams like, okay, I've never printed anything out in my life, which a younger kid would know that.
Yeah. Well, the worst part is he kept going.
This looks all right. I'm getting really wet from touching it. This is good. And he must be a hell of a soccer player. That's some trophy over there.
Oh, yeah. That's probably him for all we know.
And the Medusa type of lamp up on the side, I don't know how I feel about that because it kind of scares me. Like I'm looking at the lamp, how everything's like intertwined with each other.
Yeah.
If I'm laying in bed at night looking at that, I would probably be petrified. So,
yeah. I mean, I see why he would want something like that because he could direct lighting and whatnot. But yeah, I don't see why it's like extremely intertwined. I don't think they're supposed to be like that. I don't know. Maybe that's the design.
Maybe when he moved it got into a knot and he can't get it out.
And also, someone is saying like, I hope that the door doesn't hit the PC, but it looks like a sliding door.
It's a pocket door. Yeah. It's a slider.
Yeah. Oh, pocket door. My bad. I didn't know that's what they call it. But yeah, I think really what you need is like, it's such a simplistic setup. There's not a lot going on. I would like to see maybe a little bit more displayed on the desk, but with a different tabletop, it would look. Someone said trophy of participation. I would love to see like just like a different desk because the
Thanks
setup
for showing up.
the setup is so nice, but the desk is so out of place, you know. So yeah, that's all I would say. Do you have anything else you want to say about the Medusa lamp?
Let's give it the Medusa lamp, but let's give him props for the LEDs behind the desk.
Well, yeah, but that's what I'm saying though. It doesn't work with that desk.
It works.
It doesn't. No,
it works.
It works. It legit. It physically works. But I'm saying
if he's 8 years old, this works.
Okay, if he's 8 years old, yeah, this is great. But I would love to see a different, more, modern setup desk thing.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'd like a toilet made out of solid gold, but that's just not going to happen.
All right, let's go to the next setup. Next setup is submitted by Matthew. God, what a terrible name. What kind of parent would give you that name, right, Dad?
Oh yeah, Matthew. My Matthew's Satan's little helper.
Okay. All right. So let's take a look. All right. Yeah, we do have an age for him. How old do you think Matthew is?
Matthew is in college.
Yes.
Matthew is 19.
19. He is 18, actually. Right. He said, he started off with, I know it's horrible. You should, and he actually said it'd be fun to hear you tear it apart. Don't worry, Matthew. I will never do that to a fellow Matthew. Yeah, but yeah, that's why we have parents. So here's the thing. He is in college. As you can see, he's got the bunk beds to the right. But my favorite part of the setup right off the bat is his lightsaber. You always got to have that ready at all times when you're in college. You never know when you're going to have to fight.
I agree.
Yeah.
But the problem is, and like Obi-Wan was told Anakin, you don't ever let go of your lightsaber. So him having it on his desk is a big problem. It should be with him at all times.
Yeah. Can you imagine him just walking around like the campus with his lightsaber? Like, yep.
If I did that back in the day, we got beat up. Now, now it's okay.
Yeah, it's socially acceptable. It's like, oh damn, nice lightsaber, dude.
The backpack. I had the same one.
I know you. I knew you were gonna say that. Like, oh, you should really get a Swiss gear one for when you go to a VidCon. I'm like, no, I'm good, Dad. But yeah. So my main complaint, like, I think the books underneath completely fine. It's understandable. It's a great desk for that. Maybe just set them all standing up and clean it up a bit. But my main concern is the tabletop with wires, everything like that. The speakers are at different heights. Really, it's a cluster F of all sorts on top.
My biggest problem is they got Darth Vader's head on a stormtrooper's body on the one speaker. and then you have a Stegosaurus or whatever that's called up on the other one staring over at him.
Stegosaurus.
Yeah, the guy up on the other. And it looks like, I want to rip your head off because that's not the right head.
Yeah.
I like, he's got a nice MacBook there, right? That's a MacBook. The RCA stereo is nice. I mean, again, you're in a confined area. I get it. But it's called, tie wraps or Velcro or black vinyl tape or something.
You and the black vinyl tape, man. It's like
I love that black vinyl tape. It's awesome.
Yeah, seriously, look at the hazard of all that there. It just looks terrible. At least if you're gonna make it a bowl stuff, keep it behind the monitor and it would look a lot better from most point of views. But I think that this is such a crazy setup that just needs a little bit of cleaning up, and there's not really too much to say, right?
Well, here's the problem: the desk and file cabinet probably comes with the room for the college,
which could work perfectly. He has it set up perfectly anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's not bad. I think you drop about $1,500 and you can get yourself set up nice.
Yeah, because that's what every college student does. All right, let's go to the next setup. Next setup is submitted by Tuomas. And he's from Finland, currently living in Australia. How old do you think he is? And his name's actually, he said he calls himself Tom, which is funny. That's your name.
All right, so if he calls himself Tom, I give him 10s across the board on everything. No, he's about, I'm going to say he's 23.
23, 16.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. So this has so much potential. Really, this can be 10 times better. The desk is absolutely stunning. I love that desk. My biggest complaint has got to be, of course, as everyone knows, cable management, but that is such an easy fix, especially with a desk like that. The Signum, get 3 of them across and you'll never have an issue ever. My second complaint would be with the monitors. I guess it's not terrible, but I would like to see them maybe tilted a little bit more, because I feel like it's, unless they're 23-inch, 24-inch monitors, it's probably hard to span across. That's why I would tilt the side ones in, but if not, not a big deal. Someone just said Matt's all about IKEA Signums and Tom's all about black vinyl tape, which is so true.
Yep.
I like the laptop. I think that's fine wherever you want to put it, but I think your main problem is with that PC, because I would like to see everything centered on the desk, but you're trying to display the PC at the same time, which is kind of leaving you in a weird spot. So I'll have my dad talk about that in a second, because I'm sure he has some theory of sorts. But my other two things would be the headphones. That's okay, but I probably wouldn't keep it like that. I would get a hook for the desk. And then the second thing is the sliding door. I guess he doesn't mind, because the door is on the left side regardless, but it does basically cover the whole sliding door.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. I know you could still get out, but I would see that being kind of annoying. But anyways, what do you have to say?
All right. Well, not seeing the whole room, who knows what's on the left side, if he could have swung the desk the other way and made it go down the wall the other way, which would free up more light and you wouldn't be right in front of the glass. Now, I'm sure he has it set up this way so he could also look outside while he's on the computer. Okay. But when I'm on the computer, I don't want to look outside. I want to look at the computer. Yeah. So I'm going to give him, I guess the word is mad props, for figuring out the size of the thickness of a book that would level that monitor out perfectly, because he did a really good job with that. I wonder how many books he had to go through before he found the right. I like the, I think, again, he's some black vinyl tape away from having a kick-ass setup. I do like the computer case is really cool.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
But again, you shouldn't have the laptop right in front of it, because it kind of takes away
defeats the purpose. Yeah.
And the laptop, you're gonna have that open when you're maybe doing something, but just to have that open to block something as beautiful as that in the background is it's disappointing. So I would, if anything, I don't know, I would probably close the laptop down or figure out a different place for it. Those monitors are definitely not the same size. The middle one is smaller, I think.
Yeah, I think the two outer ones are the same, and then the middle one is different. Which, I mean, if you're going to have to go through that, he put it in the right orientation, space, whatever, blah, 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 words, things, setups. But yeah, I think really I would love to see it centered on the desk, all the monitors, maybe even all mounted on the wall. If you put it up, like my dad said, if you had the room to rotate it, I'm sure if he had the room, he probably would have did it. But regardless, I love the PC, but I just don't think it's either you got to choose to keep it under your desk on like a piece of wood where you can still see it glowing, so you can, center all the monitors, or you have to come up with a different way to organize everything, because I just feel like it's not the best spot. But I'm sure people will decide.
You see, what I would do is I would come up with a way to mount that computer on the wall. Mm-hmm. So it's above, so it's not on the desk and it's above, and it's kind of like a showpiece. And then I bring all the cables down into like some wire mold or something.
Yeah. Put it through the wall if you really want to be crafty. Yeah,
and I could tell you how to snake the wall fairly easily.
I'm sure you could. Yeah,
there's some good tricks to doing that. But I do like it. I think all these setups say that we've looked at, they all have such potential. And I don't remember which one how I rated this guy, but I don't think I was harsh on him.
Yeah, it's cool. It just needs help.
Yeah. But, no, definitely. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go to the next and final setup submitted by Curiosity, which, if that's your legal name, what the hell?
No, there's one more after this.
What?
There's one more after this.
Oh, yeah, because that's not up on the queue. That's all right. That was emailed in today. That's what it is. Okay. All right. So first we'll do this, and then we'll go to the other one. So if that's the case, we'll go through the next two pretty quick. So how old do you think Curiosity is? Just curious.
14.
He's 23. You really just hurt his feelings. So good job.
15.
He's 23, Dad. This guy's probably crying like, what the hell? Do I really look like a 13-year-old? All right. So this setup is by far the weirdest I've ever seen, because, I mean,
I like it.
It's like his mom said, you know what? Because he said he still lives at home. His mom was like, you know what? Fine. You want to set up? You can have this little section by the front door, and that's it. And like, look at that. He's like, all right, I'm doing it then. He got a wall-mounted little tabletop thing, like the doctor's office, the little glass shelf for his TV. He put his little knickknacks, which I think is actually pretty cool. The speakers work perfectly. He's like, hey, I got to get a small thing as speakers. That's what I'm going to do. He got his little keyboard and mouse. Like, everything's pretty dope. He has his little custom cable box on the floor. I mean, really, he said, all right, Mom, I'm gonna take this challenge serious. And that's exactly what he did. What do you think about it?
Well, I actually like it. I mean, I know all about being sent to one corner of a room because that's what I have now, one corner of the master bedroom after I gave up my office downstairs for you guys. But
yeah.
I think he's making it work. I don't know about the glass and then the wood, and then you got the black wood underneath it. I guess I don't know.
It does kind of look like it's floating. You know what I mean?
No, I see it. It's the first thing my eye went to when I looked at it, and I do like this setup. I really do.
It's different.
Yeah, it's definitely different, and this is the minimalistic look on how you could do something. The one thing that it kind of like irks me a little bit is he went to all the trouble to have wire mold on the left-hand side, but on the speakers for their surround sound, which he's got the wires stapled down the wall, which I absolutely hate. I do not like to see wires in a living room area. In like an office or whatever, it's okay. But like in a living room area, I guess, or whatever room this is, that was like part of a surround sound system. I would have punched a hole in the wall and snaked that bad boy right through. I mean, that's, I don't know. It's
well, you take things, I guess, more serious than Curiosity. But yeah, I just think overall it is a very, and I mean, this probably hurt his feelings, but I think it's a very cute setup because it is such a small, minimalistic, in the living room kind of thing. And I feel like I know this house layout. You know what I mean? Like it's a high ranch. It looks like a high ranch. Like we have. So it's like you walk in the front door. It's like, oh, there's Curiosity sitting on the computer again.
Mom, close the door.
Yeah, the pizza guy comes over, jumps over the banister. He's there. He's ready. He knows what's up. But okay, let's go to the next and final setup submitted by Marko. Marko bought a fast pass. A lot of people are saying, how do you get on? It's a fast pass. That's how you get on the show quicker. So he actually bought it today, and he got on today. magic. So here is his setup. We have two different shots of it. We have this shot and this shot. And yeah, this setup, I mean, so many things go through my head, but I think my first thing would be clean. Very clean. All right? You're live.
No, I'm taking it all in right now.
Okay, just making sure you're not having a heart attack or anything, since you're prone to those at your age, right?
Yeah, I gotta get my walker. Hold on a second.
So what do you think of this right off the bat? And also, wait, first, how old do you think he is?
Hold on, give me a second. He's 19.
19. He's 20. 20.
All right, yeah.
You hurt his feelings.
Sorry.
Yeah.
You're 21. Okay. I think he needs bigger speakers on the top next to his monitor. I don't think those are big enough.
Yeah.
Especially with having speakers underneath. You really want to overpower your desk with speakers.
You have to be careful. I don't think people understand sarcasm as well as you think. So
okay. Hashtag sarcasm.
There you go. Now it's okay. Now everybody knows.
Right.
Keep going.
No, I mean, if he's into music producing or he's making his own, I mean, I get it then. But I like it. I mean, it's totally clean. I do see a wire. I see 2 wires. So, I'm gonna deduct 4 points for that. No, but I mean, excellent, very neat job. I don't like the color of the case of his iPhone there, or whatever phone he's got there. It clashes with the whole setup. The monitor's it's a nice setup. I mean, when you switch to the other angle,
mm-hmm.
I mean, it's nice. It's nice, but again, there's not a lot of personality here. I don't know what he's into. I don't know what his it's just, I don't know. I mean, it could be anybody's setup.
Yeah.
I like to see a little personality. Like some of the guys had little characters on. You kind of like know what they're into and stuff. This, I can't tell you. I can't tell you if he's into music or not. I would think he's into music with having 4 speakers 8 inches from your head, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it is very clean. I really do like it. For me, like, again, people are probably gonna hate on me. I hate that extended mouse mat because it's just hideous. Absolutely hideous, especially for your setup, because your setup is so clean, and that I'm pretty sure it's a Razer one, just looks god awful, and just kills that whole clean look that you had.
Okay, I don't hate that. I like that actually.
Well, I'm nitpicking again because this is a very clean setup. Now the printer, and also first off, the MacBook, I believe Air, that is on top of his printer scares the living hell out of me, because that's right where your legs are, and I feel like one little hit on that Canon printer and bye bye MacBook Air. Like did you realize that at first that was there?
No, I saw it, but I figured that the Canon printer is close to like a tank, so if you hit it, it's not going anywhere.
Well, yeah, I guess that's true. I mean, if you really need a printer, I guess that is like the perfect.
If I was gonna put the MacBook Air anywhere, I'd put it on top of the PC sideways.
Yeah, I would, like, that's fine to put on your desk, I think, honestly. I just don't think it's kind of like a scary spot nonetheless. But yeah, I mean, if we are nitpicking, there are like two cables that you should work on. No, I'm just kidding. But it is super clean. I would love to hear how it sounds sitting there. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm sure he would too, but he's probably deaf by now.
Yeah. And I just love how everything is like, I guess okay, I think it is. The top shelf for the desk, that's custom built because everything fits like super perfect.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it could be.
Like, yeah, I think it is. I think it's just like basic wood because look how the middle receiver fits perfectly in the first photo.
Also, a good choice of receiver, Denon. I believe that's a Denon.
Yeah.
It looks like it was like
fits snug. Yeah,
they oiled it up and slid that bad boy in there.
Yeah. So I mean, overall, it's a very clean setup. But like my dad said, it does look like it could technically be anybody's setup. But still, sick. Extremely sick.
Definitely. When you personalize like a setup, a guitar, when you build your own guitars, or a car or anything, you want to have something on there that tells somebody that, hey, that's mine. So even if somebody else uses your picture, you can tell, hey, that's mine. I can tell by the picture. This looks like it could be in a like a catalog. You know, if I want to order the desk, you know, it's beautiful, but I would like to know more about the person that has the desk.
It's funny. Everyone's saying they can't wait for the receiver to set on fire and burn down the desk.
That is true, but you don't know if the vents are on the
back. Yeah. So,
because this is not one of those full-size ones, I don't believe. It looks like a little on the smaller side because those bookshelf speakers are almost as big as the receiver. So that could be designed to be like a rack mount or something along those lines.
Yeah.
It's simple. I'm sorry, Matt.
Hopefully. No, it's all good. So
it's
hopefully.
It's your show, Matt. It's
all right. Shut up. So hopefully that's the case. If not, that's a hazard. And someone else said, why do you only look at the aesthetics and not the functionality? Well, the scoring, one of them is usability. And then the other one is, looks. So we look at all different aspects. That's why a lot of people don't agree with our scores, because there's 5 categories: out of sight, out of mind, accessories, theme. What are the other ones? Functionality, usability, and the last one is cable management. So we look at all different parts, and that's why a lot of people get mad. But I agree. This needs something to make it his.
All right, let me just touch upon the functionality. I mean, no.
Okay, go for it.
This is straight up. I'm not going to talk about functionality if the keyboard's in front of the monitor and the computer's there and everything looks like it'll work. I'm going to talk about functionality if you got the computer on the other side of the room and you got the monitor on an angle and everything's messed. That's I'm going to talk about functionality, how easily you can use it. This is obviously you pull a chair up to it and you can start working. Yeah. So the functionality of it, or listen to music, or make yourself go deaf, or blow your eardrums out, or whatever you want to do with it. It's obvious. So I'm not going to. I didn't give him a perfect score on functionality, but
I gave him a 10 on usability.
Yeah, I didn't give it.
You gave a 9, so you still gave it a great score. Yeah. But now people know. Okay, so now is part of the show where we go over the scores, so you guys know who won. So here we go. This setup submitted by Ben got an 84. PocketBoyHT got a 76, which could be way higher if you just cleaned it up and fixed a couple of things. Gabe Hub walked away with a 83. Albin came in first place with an 88. Cameron walked away with a 71. Jason walked away with a 41. Blaine walked away with a 37. Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. No, that does make sense. It would honestly so close. If it was clean, I would almost give that 100, honestly, because he has the best room for it. Connor walked away with a 54. Casey walked away with an 81. Matthew walked away with a 51. Tom walked away with a 66. Was that? Yeah, Tom walked away with a 66. Curiosity walked away with a 71. And Marko walked away with an 87, coming in second place. So, again, guys, people lose a lot of points for little things because it is broken into 5 different categories. So I know a lot of you are probably like, dude, you should have got a 99, but it doesn't work like that. But anyways, Dad, thanks for coming on the show.
Oh, you're welcome. I hope that I made you feel good about me, and then I'll be able to come on again, because next time I won't be so laid back.
Yeah. Okay.
I gotta get you to trust me a little bit, and then I'm gonna hit you over the head.
Yeah, I bet. All right, so guys, if you liked having my dad on the show, if you're watching live right now, type 111 for him to come back on, and if you're watching later on, go ahead and write Pop of Philly. I guess that will go for that. And yeah, all right. So thanks for watching this episode of Pimp My Setup, episode number 47, recorded live on July 18, 2015. My name's Matt Philly. You can find me on Twitter at Matt Philly. You can find my dad on Twitter, P41L1E. Or three, my bad, English. Yeah. Okay, that was good. Thanks for watching, guys. Get you on the flippity flop.